Good morning, dear my students. I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to start our second lesson, and this second lesson is named after multiple choice strategies. Before beginning our lesson, I think we should review the first lesson. So from the first lesson, you have to know about skimming, about scanning, which is included to reading strategies. And I do hope you can send the answers what is skimming and what is scanning into our Telegram group. Today we will speak about multiple choice strategies. As we know, there are lots of that strategies which is belonging to the multiple choice. This is also another one tactic in reading for answering the questions. So what in this lesson, what will we know? The aim of our lesson to let you to give some information what are the multiple choice strategies, and the objectives of our lesson is aimed to give some practice and to let you practice know the strategies very well without any difficulties. So what do they test? What kind of strategies and choices can be that estimated? These questions test your ability to know and some specific points in a determined passage or in your data reading texts, and also you should differ between what the passage says and what the some information not given in the passage. But including to this abilities, you can also identify the gist of the texts. You can comprehend the text very well if you use these multiple choice questions, multiple choice strategies. What do you need to do? Firstly, you should read the instruction very carefully. What kind of instructions are required to you? And then skimming. Try to use your skimming strategy for gaining the general idea of the passage. And then one by one read the question and underline keywords. Underlining keywords play a pivotal role for answering the questions correctly. And then guess which part or which paragraph do you think that your questions answers there. Then read all the given answer options very carefully and compare your font answer to the answers and find the appropriate answer to the question. Choose the correct answer, and of course the last point, this is that writing the point, the answer A or B or C or D, indicating that the option answer C. And there are some helpful hints for knowing, for finding multiple choice questions. First of all, they are included the typically overall questions, and some of them you should know the gist of the idea. If you read the questions stems first and you can annotate or mark this post, it will be very beneficial for you to find the answers very quickly. Answers will not contradict each other. Sometimes you can get the right answer on the questions, and you can get the right answer on the passage or text. And another tips, they appear, this is we can say the multiple choice questions, they are gifts for a candidate if you have such kind of questions, because the order of the questions are like step by step. It is presented in the text steply. You should only write the one letter in each box, that's all. And reading comprehension questions, this is one of the first question types to be, which is included to that multiple choice reading comprehension. It is tested of your that understanding the passage or text very well. In such kind of questions, you can see some phrases like according to asserting or mention it, and you should read a little before about the passage or after the moment mentioned, and try to use your orientation and find the most correct answer. Just this is a little literal and concrete level which you have to use in reading texts. And another tip, another point of this for reading comprehension, I'm showing the material which I would like to share. Later I will send to our Telegram group also. Just you should read the paragraph and you should understand this paragraph, and according to that reading comprehension strategy, you should answer the question, what is the passage about? You should send me one point of view. For this we should know the concrete comprehension of the text. And next type of this, inference. Inference questions, it is just beyond simply reading comprehension. This is also, it looks also that simple reading comprehension, but it implies based on the evidence in the passage, and you should know the authors of this passage or reading materials, opinion and attitude. So you should you can see some of the words which can be look like that infer or imply. And there are two steps of finding inference questions. Firstly, always like another reading comprehension questions, you should go back and read the passage very carefully. And the second, you should find the fact that it is dedicated to the inference, and compare the answers which you estimated, which you suppose, with the other rest of the answers. If you are sure, then you can mark the inference questions answer. And the next type of this multiple choice questions, this is identifying and interpreting figurative language. So this type of questions don't look like a little to other question types like inference and reading comprehension, because here you should use and you should identify that figurative languages. And in this type of the questions, finding the answers, you should use also that go back strategy. You should read, and for figurative language, the meaning is very much dependent on the phrases, because figurative phrase it is just surrounded around the sentences, and you should you should use the most appropriate reference to the questions. And another type of the questions, this is character analysis. In this type of the questions, a person can be asked about the character, about the evidence presented in the passage. Like in an inference question, you should answer that best fits with the evidence. And overall passage. Overall passage, it can test all your understanding, comprehension. For such kind of tests, for such kind of that questions, you should be very careful, because you, for finding such kind of test, you should comprehend all the passage thoroughly, and it will be easy for you to find the question. So you should overall picture created by the tiny details. For example, all the themes, perps, don't can be overweighted. And the next, these are the some tips for success. Never just believe that you can remember all the passage very well. For finding the appropriate answer, always try to use a rare read strategy. I mean that try to read once more again before or after, and try to retain information and actively engage with the passage. Interact with the passages also. Key finds, key words are very helpful to find the questions. And if this is necessary, try to opt out with the answers which are not appropriate, very close to the question for finding your answer. And after knowing these strategies, please, I will give you some home assignment. These are, firstly, you should do the tasks which we upload into the platform, and learn the tips of the multiple choice questions, and then watch a video and write new information on the theme about multiple choice questions and how can you use in your practice, and what kind of useful information could you get from this lesson. Thank you for your attention, and for a little further, just you can use the literature from British Council materials, David Bogle Dorothy, this is Skillful 1 and Skillful Reading. Today's lesson, we have some words which is devastating, spew, rudimentary, gridlock, sludge, which you can be face up during the presentations and during the video. Thank you. Wish you huge luck.